Hello everyone and welcome back to Ushanka Show, the place where we can all learn something new about life in the Soviet Union. I'm your host, Sergei Sputnikov, and back in 1971, I was born in the USSR. In my recent videos, we learned a lot about Soviet bad boys, about different categories of the Soviet workers that weren't up to the socialist standards. We learned about brakadeli, workers that produced poor quality or defective items due to their hangovers, being lazy, or being irresponsible. Brakadeli. We learn about pragulshiki, Soviet slackers, workers that showed up late or didn't show up at all, or showed up at work but then were hiding from work doing extended smoke breaks or playing chess, checkers, or dominoes. And a while back I told you about nisuni, the carriers, workers that were stealing stuff from their places of work, although we didn't call it stealing, we just call it carrying away. Nisuni. And today we're going to talk about lituni. Lituni, or one person is litun, so that can be translated as a flyer. Litun is what in English was called job hopper, and I actually found old, looks like World War II era poster condemning job hoppers. Litun. Litun. Litun, just like nisun, is actually incorrect Russian word. It's similar like you can say in English, the decider.
But I'm the decider, and I decide what is best. But I'm the decider, and I decide what is best. But I'm the decider, and I decide what is best.
Okay, never mind. Decider it is. And we have litun. So litun, the flyer or the job hopper, was of course the person that was changing often his places of work, hopping from place to place. While the other Soviet bad boys, bad workers, like nisuni, pragulshiki, brakadeli, were pretty much blue-collar workers. I believe that lituni, job hoppers, were mostly white-collar workers like engineers, managers, technicians, and so on. People that were in high demand because of their specific skills. You can usually judge how bad was the problem in specific industries or with specific people looking at how many different propaganda posters were created, and there was quite a few about lituni. So we're going to look at some of those and analyze them. So here's one. Мечта летуна. Поступи на работу, оторви аванс, уволься. Job hopper's dream. Get hired, take advance payment, and leave. There's another one. Советский закон справедлив и суров, карает прогульщиков и летунов. The Soviet law is fair and strict. It's punishing slackers and job hoppers. Летун – враг. Job hopper is the enemy. This is a little bit strange poster because I don't understand why they have that hand with the word kulak on it. Kulak was rich peasants. So how they relate to lituni, I have no idea, but here it is. This poster has a nice little poem. Летун меняет неспроста свои рабочие места. Туда лежит его дорога, где мало дел, а платят много. A job hopper changes his places of work for the specific reason. His ways go where you can do less and make more. Technically, there's really nothing wrong with working less and making more, but it's not a good thing in the socialist society. This poster has no comments, but it shows the job hopper that horrified and running away, and then you have the tough-looking workers giving him a stink eye. So there's another example. So the engineer didn't like the conditions of his work. It's probably somewhere in Siberia, so he is leaving the place as quick as possible. This one probably from the early 30s. Обрежем крылышки. We'll cut his wings. And his wings are made of the papers that says he's hired, and then he left place of work. He got hired somewhere else again. He left place of work. That's his wings. This poster has a short but powerful message. Летун – враг производства. Job hopper is the enemy of production, which sounds pretty bad. I'm not sure if there was any criminal punishment for being a job hopper, but it was called enemy of production. Another little poem. Его девиз – все силы для проблемы длинного рубля. Летун – типичный паразит. Летун Нам дело тормозит. The slogan of job hopper is chasing the lone ruble. So that's expression when you going after making a lot of money, you're chasing the lone ruble, длинный рубль. Летун, so job hopper is a typical parasite. Летун always puts the brakes on our business. And this poster shows the job hopper Летун not in a pretty light. So it looks like he's, besides hopping from job to job, he's also alcoholic. He's carrying a bottle. And his wings are made of трудовая книжка, the workbook. So that's the book that you write down the places you work. And that's how you track his activities, his places of work. And here's just an example how your Soviet passport will look with the stamps about being hired and being let go from places of work. I'm not sure why this person had them in his passport. It's supposed to be in your workbook because the date's actually like 1967 and the workbooks were introduced in the Soviet Union back in 1939. Hey, we got a new poem. I enjoy to read the poems like they used to teach me back in the Soviet school. Летун лишен рабочей чести, он каждый год на новом месте. Летун урон наносит нам, подрежем крылья летунам. Job hopper has no worker's honor. Every year he's on a new place. Job hoppers cause damage to us. Let's cut their wings. So once again, the whole topic of летуны, job hoppers, it's the birdies with the wings made out of the workbooks, and we need to cut their wings. There's another one. Позорят эти летуны рабочий класс своей страны. These job hoppers are the shame of the working class of our country. Shame on job hoppers. I swear I already showed this page before. So this is actually from the children's magazine Murzilka. It's a story about Letun and how mom and the daughter are shaming their father for quitting job at one factory and moving to another factory because they'll get paid 10 more rubles a month. And that's what I found ridiculous. Why would wife be upset that your husband getting a job that pays more? No, mom says, well, our dad is going to leave the factory and the factory will stop. And this is so bad for the country. We need to tell our dad, shame on you. Don't be a job hopper. So this is kind of this children level anti-job hopper propaganda. So as you see, so-called workers' mobility, which I believe in United States and other capitalist countries, it's being looked at as a positive sign for the economy. If you have a lot of workers' mobility, that means the economy is healthy and people, just like blood, they circulate through the system. In the Soviet Union, there was opposite way. Job mobility was a bad thing. Job hoppers were bad people. Okay, my friends. Okay, my job hoppers, YouTube channel hoppers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe learned something new. As always, please don't forget to like this video, put your comment, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye.
Sergey wrote a book based on diaries he made when he was first in the United States. And as I understand, this is just volume 1, right? That's correct. He's going to have multiple volumes coming out. Well, I said, well, since Sergey is kind enough to come up and speak with us, I bought the book. I said, I might as well read this. I read this in one sitting, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I just couldn't put it down. It was so fascinating because your writing is very compelling, for one. And his story is very interesting for two. It's really interesting. You know, we've lived here our whole lives. We don't have that perspective. It's just so interesting to hear someone else's perspective about what we take for granted. So I hope you really tune in and listen to what he has to say. It's a very interesting, very informed perspective. Sergey is not a historian. He's an electrical engineer by trade, but I find that he has a depth of understanding on history, economics, culture. So just a very observant fellow and a great storyteller. So like